It's time for tonight's big questions with the coach, Trevor Gleeson. The Boomers escape the first group 2-1. I've told you before, I'm a positive guy, so let's start with that. What was the biggest positive from the group stage?
For me, it's the passing ability. I loved how they're sharing the ball. Remember, I'm a coach. I love team play. It involves everybody. You're dribbling into the lane, find the open man, make the extra pass, get the open shot. I thought the Boomers were first class with their unselfish tonight and something to build on going into the future.
And we have heard about the 11 assists from Josh Giddey, and he just continues to break records. Paddy Mills had 9 assists himself, so I love that. What about perhaps the not so positive? What would be an issue for the Boomers?
Well, Japan and not Slovenia. Quite frankly, this is going up against the extra hard yards now. This is a top team. This is played for the bronze medal at the Olympics. The stakes are going up, but also the talent level is going up. There's no Luka out there against Japan. Even though the defensive schemes are working, now you're going to come up against one of the top teams that's vying for a medal.
What about our friends over in New Zealand? They are still hanging around a big game tomorrow. Will they join Australia in the second round?
Well, let's hope so. They had a really good game. I got to see against the USA game. They just died a little bit at the end, got a little bit foul trouble. Had a good win in the second one, but yeah, it's going to be a good game against Greece.
A Greek team that obviously doesn't have Giannis as well. Plenty of NBL players, whether it's Shea Ili or Zaya Liafa, guys that Australian basketball fans should be super familiar with, and they're putting up big numbers.
And Tarangi. I thought Tarangi was really good, showing that leadership out there and really taking it to the game. So it's going to be all in now. They win the next game, they go through to the second round and still have a shot at getting that Olympic qualifying position.
And we should mention the Olympics as well, as you've already referenced. You have to have the number one team from Asia can qualify for the Olympic Games. So Australia and New Zealand still in that battle.
Oceania, just to correct you there, not you get too many wrong, but it's the first position in Oceania. We'll get that berth automatically and won't have to go through the qualifiers.
And what about Luka? We're going to talk about him a lot. This is Friday night, 2 days to rest. Slovenia play tomorrow. Do you anticipate it's going to take more than one guy? But with this starting lineup, are you anticipating Josh Green?
Yeah, without a question. I think Josh was fantastic there tonight in both ends of the floor. But Luka, mate, he might be the best player in the competition right now at the World Cup. And you're going to have different looks. Obviously, with Josh Green, Thibault will get a little bit of look at him. Even some traps, some blitz, taking the ball out of his hands in the backcourt. All those different schemes, I think Brian and the coaching staff are going to start working on right now.
Last 2 seasons in the NBA with the Toronto Raptors. We expect you'll be back there pretty soon. But for me, I'm curious. I want to know, what's the best thing about being an assistant coach in the NBA and being in that system?
Well, I did put a little bit of weight on, so it was the food. The food is everywhere. From the first time you wake up, buffet breakfast, buffet lunch, then pre-game there's food, post-game there's food. You jump on the plane, there's more food all the time. So I've got to say the food is pretty good in the NBA.
I like that because I thought you were going to go to X's and O's or basketball or the in-game environment, but just the food, that's something I can absolutely relate to. Trevor Gleeson, big questions, fun as always.